Good afternoon, everyone. This is Nelson Casio. I hope that you guys are doing well, safe with your families. Today I wanted to talk to you about something that's very interesting to me. I love Teslas, and they have a special feature that's called auto drive. And it made me beg the question, are we ready for fully autonomous vehicles? Before I get into that though, I wanted to pose a dilemma for you. And so if you're watching this video and you comment, I would love to see what your response is. But imagine that that's you right there with a little question mark next to holding a lever. There's a trolley that's going down the tracks. It's rolling down the tracks. There you have two options. If you do nothing, the 5 people will die. But if you decide to pull the lever, you will save the 5, but you would kill the 1. This is a question that many ethical scholars, many people that working with artificial intelligence think about. What would you do in that situation? Today I wanted to pose that thought and say the stance that we as a society are not ready for fully autonomous vehicles for 3 reasons. 1, the nascency of the industry, meaning that how young the autonomous vehicles are in society. Number 2, divergent ethics across cultures. And 3, lack of comprehensive federal regulations. To get a better understanding of why fully autonomous vehicles are not ready for the masses, let's take a look at the nascency of the industry. In the 1990s, the U.S. Department of Transportation attempted to demonstrate an automated vehicle and highway system in 1997, actually here in San Diego. But subsequently was canceled due to budget constraints, so that kind of fell through in the 90s. In the 2000s, the US government funded only 3 programs, 3 military efforts, one of them being DARPA, which basically stands for Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, which offered $1 million to any robotic engineer to develop a fully autonomous vehicle. Subsequently after that, nothing was developed, nothing more was pushed into it. And in the 2010s, the automotive manufacturers such as GM, Mercedes, Audi, and Tesla began to invest in the autonomous vehicles, into electric vehicles. Many of you know the Tesla, that's my favorite one. But basically they began investing in electric and autonomous vehicles, but however, they're still doing their testing and they're still trying to go through millions of miles of testing and approval by authorities. Now, as you can see, the industry is fairly young and fairly new, which still needs more collaboration, more cooperation, and also more testing. With understanding of how young this industry is, let's explore how different societies respond to some ethical questions. As you can see here, there was a moral machine that was basically a study done by MIT in 2014, where they posed a platform that resulted in creating a crowdsourced platform which asked how self-driving cars should prioritize lives in different variations of that trolley dilemma. 4 years later, 233 countries and territories, according to the MIT experiment, logged 40 million decisions, which was published in the Nature magazine. Basically, similar to the trolley dilemma, you can see countries across the entire spectrum of this question that says how countries compare in sparing pedestrians over passengers. And as you can see here, if the bar is closest to 1, they place a greater emphasis on sparing pedestrians, whereas over on the right, they had greater emphasis on sparing passengers. So countries range from all across the spectrum, from Japan, Norway, and Singapore, to China, Taiwan, France, and the United States. Here was another study that was done according to Hoa's article called Should Self-Driving Car Kill the Baby A, or Grandma B? And in this study, again, going across multiple countries and societies and territories, countries with more individualistic cultures are more likely to spare the young. In France, they would spare the young, but in Taiwan, they would spare the elderly, which shows a divergent response to this ethical question on what's value in life, or what's valuable in life, and who we should save in this situation. So that kind of shows that there needs to be more collaboration, more discussion between these cultures to ensure that we come to one unified solution. Now, clearly there's a need for AV cars across different cultures to communicate and find a unified value when placing these kinds of ethical scenarios. This may be one of the reasons why the federal government has not been so comprehensive with autonomous vehicles, which leads to my third point. There's a lack of comprehensive federal regulations currently in place for autonomous vehicles. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is currently an organization that develops reports, and they do them annually, and they've only done 3 since 2016, where they try to talk about autonomous vehicle technology. They talk about the role of federal government and what it should be. But again, these are only 3 reports that have come into existence where they collaborate with industries, with automotive industries, other companies, and according to the Regulating the Future Autonomous Vehicle and the Role of Government by Roth, the NHTSA and the federal government have yet to enact any regulations specific to AV technology. Also, there is a lot of inaction in Congress. Bills promoting safe autonomous vehicle laws onto the American market have failed to become laws because of it. So there has been no movement in Congress, which begs the question, what can you do? Well, as a consumer, we want to engage. We want to contact our regulators and our legislators to be more involved with autonomous vehicles, because that really is the future, as we're seeing now in Tesla and in other companies. Talking about ethics, the ethics of artificial intelligence and autonomous vehicles, because that is something that we're going to see in the future, and understanding the benefits of autonomous vehicles. One of the major causes of death in America are fatal car crashes. Last year alone, 37,461 people died because of traffic accident. If we had fully autonomous vehicles, 90% of those people would be alive today, which is about 33,000 plus people. But we're not there yet. This last image I want to show you was an accident that occurred from the Washington Post called "The Fatal Tesla Crash Tied Technology and Driver Failures." Stated that in 2018, so this is fairly new, 2018, a crash of a Tesla car in California left a father of 2 dead, and federal regulators stated that there was lack of leadership in addressing safety problems with partly automated vehicles. So this just shows that we are not there yet. We will be there yet, but we're not there yet, and there still needs to be talks with our regulators, with our legislators, and with each other, with our families. And so I do believe that one day we will have fully autonomous vehicles if we come together collectively as a society, if we talk about the ethics, about artificial intelligence, to address the issues cross-culturally, and if we can push our legislators and regulators to invest more in this new innovative technology. And I wanted to leave you with this quote that is by an American, one of the most successful inventors, quoted by Forbes Incorporated, Dean Kamen, who says, "Every once in a while, a new technology, an old problem, and a big idea turn into an innovation." I hope that this has been informative, and I hope that you realize that right now we are not ready for fully autonomous vehicles, but one day, if we work together, we will be. Thank you very much.